Hello, my name is Lindsay Van Wingerden. I would like to start off by familiarizing you with a little background of the Internet, followed by a more in-depth description with examples of the Internet of Things. So, how did this all begin? Well, in 1980, a man by the name of Tim Berners-Lee, a software consultant at CERN, envisioned a global information space where information stored on computers everywhere would be linked and available to anyone, anywhere. By the end of 1990, he had written a browser, among other things, that was used to retrieve and view these hypertext documents known as the World Wide Web. In 1991, he made his browser and web server software available on the Internet. As more people began to use it and create their own web servers, it became more and more popular. However, with the increase of mobile technology in today's society, there has been a drastic 12 to 13% annual decrease. The second step of progression involves connectivity. This cloud era, this idea of connecting people. After the World Wide Web was introduced to the public, one of the first ways people used to form a connection with the outside world was through blogging. Then in 2004, social media exploded, especially the use of MySpace. YouTube came out in 2005 and introduced a completely different but new way for people to communicate and share, despite the distances. By 2006, Facebook and Twitter became available worldwide. Tumblr, Spotify, Foursquare, and Pinterest filled up specific niches. 2 years ago, a study found out that 85% of the world connected online through email, followed by 62% of the world communicating through social media. With such high numbers, you're forced to ask yourself, how can networking continue to grow even more? The answer is by the Internet of Things. This is a scenario in which objects, animals, or people are provided with unique identifiers and the ability to automatically transfer data over a network without requiring human-to-human or human-to-computer interaction. It is projected that by 2020, there will be over 50 billion objects, which will have a business impact amount to over $4.5 trillion. Everything in our world would be connected. Some of you may recall a speaker we had at Montclair in November, Carlos Dominguez, the Senior Vice President of Cisco Systems. He explained that the technology that connects people has been transforming the world over the past 25 years and is rewriting the rules on business. This idea of the Internet of Everything will open up an incredible amount of opportunity in every sector. And he was right. The job opportunities that are becoming available include these listed here: wearable computers, augmented reality, 3D printing, artificial intelligence, and synthetic biology. Dominguez gave some examples of these during his presentation. He explained that once he was unable to make a meeting due to another meeting, so he sent his robot to the second meeting, and he, quote-unquote, was the life of the party and was able to meet everyone there. Another example he gave was the idea of healthcare, where someone would be able to swallow a device that would explode in your stomach and track your vitals, reporting to both your mobile phone and to your personal doctor. So what does it actually do? What can you do with the Internet of Things? Take a look at this diagram and I'll explain 6 ideas and point out some examples. First, you can predict and streamline service and maintenance. Take a look at the structural health and the water leakage. Here you can monitor the vibrations and material conditions in buildings, bridges, and historical monuments. And also the water leakage, you can detect liquid presence outside of the tanks and pressure variations along the pipes. Second, you can optimize the supply chain. This is most prominently seen in smart shopping. The third point is product activation and management, which you can see through the smartphone detection and perimeter access control. You can, number 4, access dark data by traffic congestion. You can monitor vehicles and pedestrian affluence to optimize driving and walking routes. 5, you can track assets and availability, and also, number 6, the availability to track sales, service, and marketing flow, which you can see through the different shopping, parking, and roads. Now take a look at this lamppost. First, it looks like just a simple lamppost. There are over 300 billion lampposts in the world. Now, can you imagine a simple light post to be anything more than just a lamppost? Well, check this out. Not only is it just a lamppost, now it's an app center, a street sign, an advertisement, has multiple sensors, a radio, and an emergency phone. It can also detect water and count pedestrians. So this idea of an Internet of Things will not only include objects and people, but it will involve logistics and delivery, create ordinary cities into smart cities, create more healthcare opportunities, increase energy consumption awareness, and also increase fun. But what is its role in the business? Honestly, it's complicated. Not only do you need a connected product, you need an optimized business. You also need to transform your business models and create a network effect of unfettered product interconnection.
Hello, my name is Jamie Fempson. Now that we have an idea of what the Internet of Things is envisioned to be and its perceived capabilities, we need to analyze it in order to better understand it. When we look back and reflect on the emerging technology that was the ARPANET, no one knew exactly what other technologies or industries would grow from it, but the potential and possibilities were limitless. It started by connecting a few machines over long distances for the purpose of transmitting and receiving research information. This internetwork of computer systems became the Internet. Then email came along, followed by the web server and hypertext markup language, which spawned the World Wide Web. Online retailers brought the dot-com e-commerce craze. Social networking became relevant, cloud computing, and then all these devices that can connect to these technologies and services. Countless technologies have been born upon the Internet's platform, and countless more are to come. The Internet of Things will be an internetwork of objects that will become the platform for many new types of technologies, products, and services. Companies are beginning to use passive RFID tags that uniquely identify the objects they produce or procure. A network of sensors read these tags and report information to an electronic data interchange or perhaps some other data warehouse where analytics can be performed. This can give companies very fast and accurate information about deliveries, inventory levels, environmental conditions, and the location of their products, etc. This emerging technology is sure to disrupt many industries. The barcode scanner and labeler industry come to mind. Perhaps when a company receives a delivery, a crew of workers would scan barcodes on pallets of products while unloading. What happens to the barcode scanner and labeling industry if the RFID tag is able to diminish its necessity? Proponents of the Internet of Things propose that the technology could be used to create smart grocery stores, where customers need only fill their bags or shopping cart. The RFID sensors will read, itemize, and total up all the items in their cart instantaneously on their way out the door. What happens to the labor market when cashiers can't compete with these systems? EasyPass has drastically reduced the amount of toll workers that are necessary to operate toll plazas. What will happen to grocery chains that don't conform to the efficiencies of the Internet of Things? It's not difficult to surmise that non-adopters may become a lot less competitive and a lot less relevant. RFID tags and sensors have relative advantages over the old methods of product tracking. Checkout times will be much shorter in any retail store that employs the technology. Inventory levels can be modified to provide more accurate placement of products. And both the organization and the end user should perceive the use of this technology as very simple. These are some very important innovation attributes. But RFID is just the start of the Internet of Things. Companies are working on developing inexpensive active Internet-enabled tags so that not only can information be retrieved from the unit, data can be sent to it in the effort to control it. As Lindsay's lamppost illustrated, objects could be capable of providing feedback to its environment. Household appliances can be turned into smart appliances, which can coordinate energy consumption, alert owners about predictive failure and maintenance, auto-generate shopping lists when items are removed from the cabinetry or the smart fridge. Smart snowblowers can coordinate with weather information and inform the owner that gas is needed for an upcoming snow event. Right now, I want to pass you off to Romney Ledesma, who will continue our analysis of the Internet of Things.
First question, is the Internet of Things a discontinuity of the previous one? If you're talking about machines that use operators to start them by pressing a down button, and cashiers only able to be used with the interaction of a person in front of them, then this is integration and evolution which make jobs unlimited. Humans can only work as much hours and work certain times. Also with machines, operating automatically when the shift ends is endless profitability for the CEO or owner. They cut down on labor costs for employees because they don't have to give them the overtime. Because the Internet of Things basically is improving productivity for the supply and demand. As you can see, the increase of the Internet of Things has a global Internet devices installed. That number since 2010, which was almost 2 billion devices, had increased over 6 billion users in devices in the present time and expects to reach 16 billion by 2018 in 4 years. As you can see, the quote by Business Insiders, estimates for the Internet of Things, or IoT, market value one massive. Since definition, IoT will be diffused layer of devices, sensors, and computing powers that overlays the entire consumer, business-to-business, and government industries. The dominant designs. The Internet of Things is now being started up by Cisco, Amazon, and Silver Spring Networks. Cisco has a remarkably good reputation for networks and reliability in their products. Cisco has also been in the game for years, where they have a huge client base. Amazon also has been globally and internationally known for their products and their technology, which they have been included and funded recently. And Silver Spring Networks are also highly global known for their services. Dominant design can change with competition. After 3 years of building the Internet of Things platform, Isla Network announced a $5.4 million round of funding and major partnership. Isla integrated plug-and-play solutions for the original equipment manufacturer, OME, to make their appliances and their devices intelligent. As you can see, this is one of Isla's products here on the slide with the Internet of Things technology corresponding with the iPhone. It's basically sending messages in between each other on the actual device to read the temperature. The market for this product is almost limitless, from buildings like commercials or industrial for hospitality, even to process cleaning rooms. Another few examples are transportation, like vehicles using the Internet of Things to communicate with the drivers, to give them reservations, and dispatchers just send them messages and knowing when the drivers have been there or not. Also, energy, wherein supply and demand, solar, wind, and reduce the cost of energy management. The market is really endlessly and covers most fields, from even hospitals, buildings, culinary, cashiers, anything dealing with machine operators, anything you can send a signal to keep it going, or self-check things or scan things and show you the locations of where it's at. As you can see, the increase of these devices by 2018 will be well above the chasm with 16 billion devices. At the present, the technology is rapidly increasing, but still only being used by the early adopters, which is only about 13%, which is barely making the chasm. The Internet of Things is going to be the future of business. Instead of outsourcing jobs, just use the Internet of Things to still increase productivity with low cost, but keep it in states. Still have people working on those devices and networks and still giving out more jobs. This also doesn't replace the jobs for Americans. This actually increases jobs also. At the same time, it's just increasing productivity, yet that network still has to be maintained by someone, which IT, information technology, computer science will be the great place to be at when this technology emerges.